Alrighty, so we're back on the Ranger. Today's job is going to be to put in the pre-fuel filter, which is going to live in here. So it's going to be before the main fuel filter in the car, so we're going to pick up all the crap that comes from the tank, go into there, and then through the main fuel system that's here as well. You'll probably see that I would need to move this to make way for the bracket to come through. So we're just going to give it a crack, see what happens, and hopefully we can get the pre-fuel filter fitted today. I've had some dramas with the trans cooler kit, which I'll go into probably later on today. But for now, let's get this fuel filter underway. And I've got a little sneaky camera here, so as we can do a time lapse of us popping that in. It's going to be a big day. We're almost there, almost there. All right, let's get going. Welcome back, guys. Welcome to the man shed. This episode I have the Direction Plus Fuel Manager pre-filter kit. This one is for my Ranger that's over there. It's 2015 Mark II, and I believe this one's got the brackets and stuff required to mount this one to the car. Full disclosure, I don't know what I'm doing in this space with fuel and common rail diesels and stuff like that, so I've employed some help from the guys over the road. One of them is actually the mechanic for the car, so I have some capable hands coming to help me do this. So full disclosure, if you're doing stuff like this, please do your own research and employ local knowledge, or employ people who know what they're doing to do that job or assist you doing that job. If you don't know what you're doing, please seek your own advice, do your own research, all that sort of good stuff. So we have the fuel filter kit here, which is a pre-filter which is going to go before our factory filter. So the idea being, if you get any dirty fuel or water in the fuel, this kit is intended to pick that up. It's got a water trap at the bottom which you can empty manually. It's got its own canister in there for the filter as well, and it will tell me how many micron that filter is, which I'll find shortly. But nonetheless, it's to protect your primary filter or your factory filter from getting clogged up from shitty fuel, or if you get water or anything like that in your tank. So pretty cheap insurance in the scheme of things. I think this kit was about 400 bucks from Outback equipment or something like that, and I'm pretty sure I pinched another discount code from one of the influencers and YouTubers that I watch. So again, I'll see if I can find that and I'll pop that in the description below. Let's get cracking. Let's open this box up, make sure I've got the right gear in here to get the job done on the weekend. If not, I've still got some time. I've still got a few days up my sleeve to go and get what I need to get this kit fitted. All right, let's flip you over and let's unbox this. We've got the Fuel Manager pre-filter kit here. So basically what this is doing, according to the box, is when you put a pre-filter in, this takes the majority of the crap out of the fuel system, which leaves the large contaminants and water have been removed from here already, and then it allows the factory filter to then take out the rest of those contaminants down to a higher micron level and give you nice clean fuel coming out the other end. So there you go, it says reduce wear and tear and avoid expensive costs that could exceed $10,000. So they've put a price on the cost of your engine here. So again, cheap insurance for 400 bucks or so, give or take. You can save yourself a new engine, because no one likes water in their engine. For those playing at home, here's my model number that I took, FM621DPK, and you can see it's for a Ranger BT50 2.2 and 3.2 litre with the build date for the thing. So the build date for this kit. So let's have a look and see what we've got. There you go, here's your bracket. First line of defense, that feels like all hose fittings and stuff. And then thanks for the order. Pre-post catch can, so I've already got a HPD catch can fitted to the Ranger, so I don't need that. And then that would be the actual filter, like so. Cool. So as I said, guys, I'm going to get some help to fit this on the weekend. So I just want to make sure that all the bits are here. Here's your water trap at the bottom. And yeah, I'll have some fun with the boys and they can tell me how shit I am at doing stuff, because I can be handy sometimes, but when I don't know what I'm doing and I need to understand all that stuff, it could get interesting. So I'll have a quick squeeze in the bag because it looks like it's a sealable one. Cool. I am going to sticker up the car very shortly too. I'm just collecting all my stickers in a single place, which are actually in this top drawer. So we will get them on the Ranger for the trip. So she looks all pretty and stuff. Cool, so we've got a couple of caps, because there was 4 on there. They look like your pipe fittings and some adapters and some more bits and pieces. And that looks like your bulk kit. And then a service sticker, so cool. I mean, on face value it looks like it's there. I'm going to do a quick look up and see where I can find, see if I can find where this bracket goes in the kit, and then yeah, we'll go from there. So I've had a quick look at the car. I've got my instructions here. So on the instructions it says you've got ports 2 and 3 inlet, port 1 and 4 is out. So when I had a look in the car, I think it's going to sit on that bracket like so, and I think the bracket sits kind of like that with your fuel coming in off this side. So I'm going to use 1 and 2, I think. I'm sure that the guys will tell me if I've got it wrong when we try and do it. So if I just lay this out like I would try and set this up. So I've popped a couple of the bits off. So what I reckon we need to do is something like this when I get the right side. So we've got port 2, port 1. So port 2, port 1. 2 was the inlet. So I'm just going to loosely finger tight these, right? I know that they all go in. So it's fairly, I don't think you can really stuff this part up, but know me, if there is a way I will work it out, how to do it and stuff it up. So basically 1 and 2, and then these I'm assuming screw into this. They have a bit of flex there, so again just finger tight so as you can kind of get the angle of the dangle. Alright, finger tight like so. And then on the other side we've got these 2 bungs here. So again, one would, I'm assuming that it could be as simple as this. Bung up those blank ends. Alright, blank them off. Cool. That's annoying. Cool, so something like that. And then on this bracket, when it sits up, I believe it kind of bolts in like so. So I might just dry fit that as well, because then I can see where it sits in the car and we're a little bit ahead, or at least I know what I'm up for when we go and put this sucker in the Ranger. So 4 of those, 2 of those. Just finger tight, nothing extreme. Cool, let's go and have a look. Geez, that's pretty close at the bottom. Oh look, a step. It's like I've been here before. Okay, this might get a bit difficult to see, so we'll do our best. Let's see how this goes. So, something like, I think it goes something like this. Right, so there's a factory bolt down here. I don't know if you can see that down here. And then there's one behind this down under here that we're going to leverage as well. And then I think we're going to use that little lug there, I believe. So based on that, I think we should be okay with that 12 volt there. It's just going to be a bit tight to maybe get that in. Don't know. Might have to pull it out. Might have to pull that box out just to fit this and then put it back in. So that's a weekend job for now. But ultimately it'll look something like that, I think. Who knows? You and I will find out together. All right, let's stay tuned till the weekend. Alrighty, so we're back on the Ranger. Today's job is going to be to put in the pre-fuel filter, which is going to live in here. So it's going to be before the main fuel filter in the car, so we're going to pick up all the crap that comes from the tank, go into there, and then through the main fuel system that's here as well. You'll probably see that I would need to move this to make way for the bracket to come through. So we're just going to give it a crack, see what happens, and hopefully we can get the pre-fuel filter fitted today. I've had some dramas with the trans cooler kit, which I'll go into probably later on today. But for now, let's get this fuel filter underway. And I've got a little sneaky camera here so as we can do a time lapse of us popping that in. It's going to be a big day. We're almost there, almost there. All right, let's get going. Let's start this, one of the final mods for the Ranger before we go away. Let's get into it. Managed to kind of mount that in. It's a pig to get those bolts down there lifted to get that mount in. So I would strongly encourage, take this off, mount the bracket, and then put this pre-filter back on. And the next step from what I've read in the instructions is to get the fuel hose ready. So we've popped off this one here, as you can see. So it's off here and it's off at the bottom down there as well. So we're ready to connect the fuel line that they've supplied. Alright guys, welcome back. So after the hyperlapse, we have put the Direction Plus pre-fuel filter in. All is good, it's all been leak tested now and she is tight as. I did have an issue when we first put this together and we primed her up. Before we cranked her over, we realized that the kit was leaking a little bit, so there's a bit of diesel that was coming out of the bungs, which I'll show you in a sec. So what we did is I went down to the local Repco and I purchased some Loctite 567. So we then pulled out the bungs that was in the Direction Plus kit, Loctited them up and then just screwed them back in, left it for 5 or 10 minutes to seal, primed her up again, cranked her over and no more leaks. So what that looks like is it's these ones here. So when we go into here, we've got the bungs on the right, so we've got inlet outlet here. So you can see all the white that's around it is the Loctite itself that has spilled out since we put it around the thread. And now it's kind of made a nice bond and seal there for us. And then on the other side is the inlet and outlet for the filter itself, which is a little bit hard to see because it's a bit dark and it's very tight in terms of space. Now, I did break the trim clip here, but I have replaced it with a stainless bolt just to keep this nice and secure, and it rocks the whole car when you do that. I did have my 12 volt couple of accessories in the way here. So that is my Anderson plug, my tow pro, and the compressor, which I've got in the tub of the Ranger, so that was in the way. So we just unbolted this from here with a 10mm, pulled this out the way, took it off the battery, and then just pushed it off to one side, and that allowed us to get a bolt which is sitting down here, and another bolt which is down here to get the bracket in with the 3 mounting points there. So all in all, as I said, not an overly difficult job, just a bit fiddly. So we scratched up our hands trying to get all the stuff in there and the hoses and the clamps and stuff like that, but just take your time, you can get it done. So difficulty about a 6 or a 7 out of 10. And I'd strongly encourage, if you're going to tackle something like this, guys, you need at least a standard, if not more of an advanced type kit at home in terms of tools. So I would highly encourage at least a spanner kit that has your 10, 13, 14, 17, 18, 21 sort of mil spanners on it. Likewise with the sockets. So I used a combination of sockets and a 7mm for the high pressure hose clamps for the fuel line. So make sure you got yourself a decent socket kit and or spanner kit to get this job done, and you should be okay. The kits themselves from Direction Plus come with a QR code that you can scan on your phone and you can go and get the instructions. I forwarded that onto my printer and I actually printed it off in prep for this. Had a read before we started and I went through the instructions and they were fairly self-explanatory. But if you've got someone who knows what they're doing and has done it before, rely on their help where you can, because that definitely made the world of difference. I learned a few tricks that I wouldn't have learned otherwise. So that's this one all done and dusted. So they recommend, according to the paperwork that I got, they recommend changing this every 40,000 Ks, the pre-fuel filter itself. So I tend to service and do my fuel one every 20,000 Ks. So Autoforce Mechanical Repairs do my servicing out in Bayswater. That's where Ryan works. So Autoforce Mechanical Repair do my fuel filter every 20,000 Ks or every second service. And we're going to look to do this every 40,000 or every 4th service or something like that. So on the odd one, if the fuel filter looks bad, we'll do the pre-fuel filter, so on and so forth. So the idea is this now sits in front of the factory one. So this one will get clogged up more. If the factory one looks like crap when Autoforce change it, then we'll do the pre-filter as well. So pretty cheap insurance in the scheme of things. So guys, that's that one done and dusted. If you found this video, this DIY episode helpful, please like and subscribe, share it with your friends. It goes a long way for me, and it makes me feel really chuffed inside to see that people are actually taking the content that I deliver online and actually are applying it themselves. I've had some comments lately on some of the other DIY ones we've done with the weather strips, where we had people go through and actually complete the DIY installation, and I get feedback on those. That is meant, keep them coming. I love hearing your feedback on the videos, anything we can improve, do better, whatever you like. I'm more than happy to try and take that on board, take this to the next level. Guys, if you like that, please hit that button and do me the world of good. Now, I did allude to a stuff up on my part. Yes, I'm only human, I have made a mistake. So, this install was meant to be a fuel filter and a transmission cooler as well. Well, Shane stuffed up. So, that's a 2015 PX2 Ranger. And the kit that I've got is a next gen 2022 Ranger. 2015 PX2, next gen 2022. I got two solutions here. Either I get a new car or I get a new transcooler kit. So I'm not getting a new car. So it was just a little bit of a joke there. So I've contacted Ocam that I ordered this stuff through originally. So I ordered the mirrors, the side steps, the fuel filter and the transcooler all at once. So I've contacted them. So I'm hoping they get back to me on Monday. It's currently Sunday. And we'll see how we go with that. But I desperately want to put a transcooler kit in before we go away and do our 10,000K journey across the Australian Nullarbor, which is going to be extremely warm. Just going to be towing. I really want to look after the transmission. I do my oils and stuff a lot sooner than I need to. I've already had a transmission service. I do the transfer case every whatever. I really just want to look out for the old girl, right? So if I can get a kit before we go, that'll be my preferred option, and I'll try and squeeze it in the next 17 days before we leave. So that's my plan. I have stuffed up. So guys, if you place any orders for that stuff online that you buy for your cars, make sure you've got the right model, make sure you've got the right year, make sure you've got the right variant. So I cannot stress that enough. I'm only human and I've done it myself. So that brings us to the end of this episode. So I hope you enjoyed it. And until the next one, and hopefully the next one is the transcooler. Otherwise we'll be along to the Melbourne journey. So if you want to check out the last one that we did, which was installing the rear seats back in, taking the back seat out and putting the rear seats in, you'll find that one here. Otherwise, check out the rest of the Gear Guide series, guys. It's over here. It has some really cool stuff on, you know, gear and DIY mods and stuff like that. So yeah, check it out. Thanks guys, we'll see you in the next one.